Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and if you haven't already seen it, then this is it. This is the Battlefront 2 gameplay trailer. There is also a long 30 minutes or something actual game that they showed as well at E3 at EA's conference where people actually were playing it, which was really cool. But this is an actual gameplay trailer, and this is the main thing that I wanted to show you today. I will probably go into some form of depth with the actual gameplay that they showed for 30 minutes, but I'm going to cut it down obviously into a smaller segment, or else it's going to be really long. And not all of it is very important to see. There's specific parts that I'd like to point out, obviously, from it. But this is the main one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk over it a little bit now, and then at the very end of the video, I'm going to play the whole thing with sound for you, so you can look at the whole thing if you haven't already, with sound and stuff. But there's a few things that I want to jump into inside this trailer, and first of all, I've got to say this looks so nice. Like, it's ridiculous. There's certain levels of graphics that you can see in games now, and then there's this, and this just looks beautiful. It really looks so real. It's mad. It is madness what we've come to now with graphics, especially if you're like me and you played way back on like the PS1 days or whatever on Star Wars games. It's madness, like the graphics level that you can come up to now, and it's mental, and it looks beautiful. But anyway. So I want to go over a few things here. There are going to be bits that are not actually in this trailer as well that I'm going to go over, but you will see when I do the other gameplay trailer analysis as well. But the main things I want to go over here are, first of all, we got all three errors, as people should probably know by now. As you can tell at the very beginning here, we have all three errors, which is brilliant, mostly because I love the Clone Wars era anyway, for its battles and things. Like there's so many good battles in the Clone Wars era. It's like the perfect era to pick up on. Fine, you may not be a fan of the films, fine, but the battles themselves, they're really quite good. They're full-scale conflicts and stuff. And if we look at this, like you've got the whole of Feed's battle here, and the first thing I want to get across here is that we obviously have the droids against the clones. We have some actual fighters going above Feed, you know, shooting at each other. We've got Naboo fighters. We've got the General V-wings and stuff. We've got the Vulture droids. There's all sorts of things flying around. I don't know if we're going to have Buzz droids all flying around in the air. That'd be cool if we do, but I don't know yet. That'd be really cool if we do though. So we got that sort of thing. So this is obviously showing that we are going to have some form of air combat with the ground combat at the same time, which we sort of saw a little bit of in the first Battlefront. I'm mainly looking at Hoth there. If you did the Walker Assault, you could sort of fly around up in the air as well as fly on the ground. But the problem was that nobody ever really wanted to fly in the air because there was just nothing going on in the air compared to the ground. Whereas from what I saw of this yesterday in its main gameplay, um, there was like this whole segment where it was so close together, or the fight, so that if you were up in the sky, you're still going to have relevance to shooting at the ground as well as flying up in the sky. There's enough going on to keep you entertained in the sky as well as the ground. So it kind of works now where you can mix between all of them, and I quite like that. And that's the way it should have been in the first place, and I'm glad they brought that in now. That's good. Um, the other thing that I want to go over here is that I don't know if they've increased the units. They might have done. It certainly seems like it. Either that, or they've made the maps a bit more tight in combat. Because what I did notice as well is that you're always in a battle zone on this game. There's always a battle going on. Whereas in the previous Battlefront, you could be like spawning way miles back, and you have to run miles before you could actually get to the combat. And that was boring for me, and it was quite annoying actually. Whereas in this, everyone seems to be spawning right in on the combat, everyone's right there. You can go straight into starting shooting at others. Um, it's great, and there's always this huge battle going on at the same time. It's not like small little battles; it's a proper big battle altogether, and that's really cool, and I like that. Other things that we got things like you can spawn any hero you want now into a battle. So this game is obviously somewhat canon, like the story is a canon story. Then you've also got the general errors are obviously canon, but what you can do now, which is much better in my opinion, is you can spawn whatever hero you like into your battle. So, for example, if you're in the Clone Wars era and you're fighting on like Geonosis or something, you could spawn in Boba Fett, who obviously was not really a proper villain until the Galactic Civil War time, because he was a child back in the Clone Wars. But you can actually spawn him in and fight with him there. You could spawn in Rey if you wanted to. You could spawn in Kylo Ren. You know, you get the idea. You can spawn in all these different villains and heroes, and that's really cool. I like that much better, and I think that'll make it way more entertaining. Um, the other thing you've got in this game is you've got different classes now. I don't know them all specifically because I didn't really get a chance to see them all, but we've got like the jet troopers, we've got super battle droids, you've got the officers now and things like that. And they all have different abilities, different weapons and stuff like that. And that's really cool. The other thing that's really good about this now is you can actually upgrade your heroes, your troops, your tanks, ships. You know, you can upgrade all of them now and put things on them to make them better, which is really good. I like the idea of that. It makes it a bit more like, okay, so now there's actually a purpose to getting kills with this weapon, or a purpose to using this tank and using this hero's ability and so on. You know, there's an actual purpose to it, rather as in the previous Battlefront, it's sort of like, yeah, right, I'll just use this because it's the best weapon, or I'll just use this because it's the best ability, or whatever. There's no purpose there. Whereas now there's a purpose. I like that. And that's much better. That's much better that they're doing that, and it pleases me a lot. The other things that we got here, well, there's so much to cover, it's ridiculous. But I think what we really have to take from this in particular is that this game has got so much content in it in comparison to the previous Battlefront, which was a real lackluster. Um, that it's just incredible that there's so much in it. It's almost like a mind blower, and I'm quite glad of that. I really am. We've obviously got the destructive environments back and stuff. We got loads of planets to explore. Obviously, they only showed Naboo properly, but there are plenty of other maps as well to explore and you know, do battles on. We've obviously seen images of Camino. We've seen, I think we've seen Yavin, as far as I believe. The Starkiller base we've seen as well. There's like loads of different places that we're going to be fighting on, which is great, and I'm really pleased with that. The other thing that I kind of want to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it nearer the end, is how additional content is going to be added to the game, because I think that's kind of a really important one to touch on and cover, especially as that was sort of answered yesterday quite well. So yeah, there you go. The other thing that I really wanted to talk about in here, which is a massive improvement from Battlefront 1, is when you have a shield on now, you can actually attack. So you can actually shoot and throw grenades and stuff when you have a shield on. Oh my god, you have no idea how much nicer that is. In the previous Battlefront, having a shield on and not being able to do anything. Oh dear god, that was annoying. That's why I never used the shield, it just pissed me off. Not being able to actually shoot, and that was just stupid, really. So I'm glad that that's been changed now, and you can actually attack people while having a shield. Much, much better. Much better. So it's a good thing that they've done that as a very valuable update, that. So I'm pleased. We also have space battles, obviously, in this game now. It was like a massively requested thing that from people. And that's kind of something that I wanted to see as well, especially as we had it in like the old Battlefront games, so why not in this? But yeah, now we have space battles, which is great. It looks like again, they haven't shown any space battles yet, but what I presume they'll do is have some form of um, general big two obviously ships fighting each other or something like that, or maybe be the same as the first Battlefront space battle that they have for the Death Star DLC. Uh, I don't know precisely what they're doing on that. I can't really talk about that much, unfortunately, because I don't have the information. But um, what I can presume they will do in regards to the fighter thing is we've seen that you can have hero ships, obviously. So I presume you'll be allowed to spawn multiple different hero ships from different areas during certain maps. So like the attack on the Death Star, you'll be able to have Darth Maul's ship from the Clone Wars era and use that, and you get the idea. I presume they'll be doing that because I doubt they would want to not do that when they've already done this for the ground wars and stuff. So there you go. The other thing that we need to touch on here is there is Rogue One content in here as well. As you saw in the trailer, we had the Death Troopers there walking around. So that's cool. I'm glad they put more Rogue One stuff in. It's nice to see that they're still concentrating on it. I'm glad they put that in. Especially as I really like Rogue One in general as a film, and actually I think that the battles themselves, like the areas, would be quite good in some of those Rogue One planets to fight on. So I hope they're putting some of them in. We'll have to see. I'm sure Scarif will probably be in it. I don't know if they'll put any others in. I hope they do. The maps themselves look like incredible. They're huge and beautifully done. Um, but at the same time, they're small enough now to keep the battle in one place, which is much better. I know people are a big fan of like huge maps and stuff, and fair enough, I like huge maps too, but when it comes to a battle, you really want to be near the battle, not like miles away from it, which is why I'm kind of glad they're keeping it all together. Even though the maps can be big, at the same time they're keeping everyone together for the battle, which is much better. So I'm glad they're doing that. The one thing that I didn't see present in this was droidicars, or destroyer droids, whatever you want to call them. I didn't see them at all in this. Maybe it's because when they were showing this off, they hadn't unlocked them, or maybe because the people that were playing them, like the little demo, didn't actually have any of the upgrade points with the destroyer droids and stuff. So I didn't see them. It doesn't mean that they're not in there. I presume they will be in there. It'd be nice if they are. If not, then I reckon they'll be added in later on. And again, I'm going to get onto that in a bit. What they're going to do with those sort of contents and things. The other thing that I really wanted to cover here is planet-wise, when it comes to battles, it seems to me that they're going to be doing probably two, maybe more battle areas for each planet. I presume that's what they're doing. They might be doing more, I don't know. But from what I've seen in the Boo, we saw the actual area where Darth Maul, Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan fight, which is like that big, I don't know precisely what it is. It's like this big generator room or something where they all fight. So that's going to be a map of some sort. Then we obviously got the Feed Palace fight, so that's a map of some sort. So that's kind of two maps already. So presume they're going to be doing this for each planet, possibly more. It'd be nice, in my opinion, to see the actual Gungan fight area. I kind of would like to fight there for the actual, like war. I mean, they could put clones there. There's no reason why they couldn't do that. They've done it on Feed, so why not do it again? It'd be nice to see that. I would like to see that battle. That would be good fun, I think. And plus, it's like in a big open field, so it'd be great fun. I hope they do it. We've obviously got vehicles in particular in this, well, in all the maps now, I presume, on the ground. By vehicles, I'm not talking about the sort of flying spaceship vehicles. I'm talking about the actual tanks and things. We actually have them now on the ground with you all the time. which is pretty cool. So I'm glad to see that. And I think, because I was so going to be talking about this for a long time, I'm going to probably talk about the additional content now. Um, and that's in particular what they've kind of said about a season pass. So there is going to be no season pass with this game at all. What they have said is they're going to be releasing content free for everybody because they want to keep everybody together, or like the whole player base together. Free additional content throughout the season, and I presume it would extend further on through the season if necessary. What this will probably involve, they've already said what some of the things are going to be. So we're going to have some maps of some sort, maybe some additional story for the campaign, I don't know. It's a possibility. But we'll see more maps for the multiplayer and like the skirmish and stuff. We're going to see more heroes and villains. We're going to see more weapons added in, more vehicles, more. I presume we'll see different characters of like the actual soldiers rather than heroes and villains. I mean actual soldiers. So I presume we're going to see some different variations of them. What we have got confirmed is that Finn and also Phasma are going to be added in December when the game is basically out, so that'll be cool. And like I said, all of this is going to be free, which is great. It's much nicer when you have free content, so I'm glad they're doing that. But people are saying that it will surely they need to make a profit of some sort when it comes down to this game with additional content. I have to agree with that because else they're just going to make a profit from literally the game on its own, which it seems unlikely to me. I think they're going to make a profit somehow with additional content, but what they might do, which would make sense, well, in my opinion anyway, is they'll either have some system where it's like microtransactions where you pay money to unlock certain weapons or things early. They might make you buy skins if you want them for like clone troopers and weapons and stuff. So you might do that. Uh, I presume it would be something like that, sort of like small little things that people that are really hardcore fans of the game would want to go and buy. So I presume they'll do it like that rather than obviously after a season, then they'll start going, okay, now we can start making people pay for things. I don't think they're going to do that because then it will make them very unpopular and it'll go across what they've just basically stated, which is keeping the whole community together. So yeah, I don't think they're going to do that. But anyway, that's just the way I look at it all and see it. So there you go. But that's all I think I'm going to cover for this. Obviously, I didn't really talk about the campaign because we've already seen it in the past, and there's not a lot to talk about here other than what you've already seen, which wasn't really that much, unfortunately, and it's stuff that we've kind of seen in the past. This is more obviously the multiplayer side of things, but I mean, yes, there's obviously things in there for the campaign, and I think the campaign is going to be really good. So we'll have to see what happens there, really. I can't really talk much more about the campaign, unfortunately, because it's literally pretty much what we saw before. So yeah, there's nothing more to say there, really, I'm afraid. But yeah, the campaign obviously is going to be awesome. I think it'll be nice to have a campaign to a Battlefront game, and one that's actually canon to the main story too. So that'll be cool. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens there, really. But that's really all I've got for this. Like I said, at some point I'll go through the actual proper big 30-minute game that they had and edit it a bit to get specific parts of it and talk about that a little bit more for you guys. But for now, I thought this one was quite an important one to talk about and go over. So that's what I've done here. So yeah, anyway, there you go. So that's pretty much all I'm going to talk about in regards to that. I will obviously now basically play the trailer that you've just been watching in the background with all the volume without me talking, so you guys can watch that if you haven't seen it already. And yeah, well, I will see you guys in the next video. So if you did enjoy this, guys, then please leave a like. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions regarding Battlefront 2 at all, or anything like that, or you want me to cover specific parts, then let me know. I'll be happy to do that. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about Battlefront 2 from what we've seen of it so far. Do you think it looks good? Do you think it's just going to be another one of those letdowns, or what do you think? I want to know. It would be interesting to see what the rest of the community thinks of it now. I personally think it looks a hell of a lot better, and from what I can see, they've learned from their mistakes in the first game. I mean, I'm still slightly on the iffy side of it, but to be honest, it looks like they've learned a lot from their previous mistakes. So I'm hoping, I really am hoping, that they've learned fully from their mistakes and everything's all good. It seems good to me. It'd be good if that's what they're doing. So yeah, well anyway, I want to hear what you guys think. So yeah, well I'm gonna leave it there. I'll see you in the next video. See you soon, guys. Bye.